Mom gave us two choices: go with her to the Donovan household where we could attend the best high school with Mr. Donovan's son, Caleb, but only get into a domestic university, or stay in our hometown for school and get to study abroad after high school graduation. My sister, Chloe, spoke first. Mom, I want to go to the Donovan household with you. Mom smiled, relieved, then turned to me. Your sister should get the first pick. If I send her abroad later, then I'll have fulfilled my duty as a mother. Seeing Chloe's expectant face as she clung to Mom's arm, I knew she had also been reborn. Too bad. Caleb would never ever fall for her. Anya, there's a lot going on at the Donovans, so Chloe and I are leaving today. Take good care of yourself at home, okay? Mom finished packing and left with Chloe. It wasn't like the last life at all when she'd stayed an extra 10 days just to convince Chloe to go with her to the Donovan household. In my last life, after Mom laid out the two choices, Chloe had also been quick to pick, but she chose to study abroad. After Mom and Dad divorced, I was put into my father's custody for 10 whole years. Mom never once came to see me, yet I thought about her every single day. It wasn't until Dad passed away and the authorities brought me to Mom's place that I finally had her back. When Chloe chose to study abroad, my heart soared. I could finally live with Mom day in and day out. But Mom wanted to take Chloe even more. She stayed at our house for 10 days, constantly trying to persuade Chloe to go with her. Chloe, however, was convinced the grass was greener on the other side, and she never changed her mind, not even when the Donovans pressed Mom to return. And so Mom and I went to the Donovan household, and that's where I met Caleb. He was handsome, coolly distinguished, and brilliant in school. He was the dream guy in every girl's heart. I couldn't help but fall for him too. I knew we were worlds apart, and I could only bury that love deep in my heart. It wasn't until after high school graduation, after a party, that Caleb, drunk, pinned me against a wall. Anya, will you study abroad with me? I forced myself to look away. I don't have the money. Caleb laughed, and the whole basement seemed to light up. I'll pay for you. In that moment, I finally knew the boy I'd secretly loved for 3 years felt the same way about me. A tidal wave of happiness crashed over me. I excitedly told Mom that Caleb wanted to take me to study abroad. What I got in return was a stinging slap across my face. You're not going. When you chose to come with me to the Donovan household, you gave up the path of studying abroad. All the money I've saved is for Chloe's overseas studies. I covered my face and tried to explain. Caleb said I wouldn't have to pay. He'd cover my tuition. Mom scoffed, looking at me with disgust. How shameless, trying to sleep your way into his bed for money. You really need to know your place. What is your status and what is his? Someone like Caleb would only toy with you. Once he's bored, I'd still be the one paying. Don't even think about studying abroad. If you dare disobey me, never call me Mom again, and you'd better stay far away from Caleb. Don't mess up my job. Perhaps it was the lifelong lack of maternal love, but losing Mom was my biggest fear. Lost and heartbroken, I rejected Caleb, but Caleb seriously told me distance isn't an issue. I have money for plane tickets. After college, we started a long-distance relationship. He would fly back to see me every month, and the sweetness of our love filled me with hope for the future. When Mom found out we were actually dating, she secretly asked Caleb to look after Chloe, who was also studying in the same country. Caleb, unaware of our family situation, foolishly took care of Chloe as if he were her brother-in-law. Then one day in my senior year, I received a message from Chloe along with a photo. Chloe was bare-chested, hugging Caleb's neck, lying on a hotel bed. Sis, Caleb and I are together now. Stop bothering him. Caleb and I had been in love for 3 years. I knew deep down he couldn't betray me. My first thought was that Caleb had been set up. I angrily called Chloe, but I didn't notice the oncoming truck. After my soul left my body, I overheard Mom and Chloe's conversation. It's good your sister died. You need to quickly win Caleb's heart. Soon, you'll be the mistress of the Donovan household. Chloe's smile was triumphant. Mom, you were so farsighted, making Caleb look after me abroad. That's how I got the chance to take that picture when he was drunk. I originally just wanted Anya to give up, but who knew she'd actually die? It's truly divine justice. Once Caleb gets over his grief, I'll go and offer myself to him. I had always thought that even if Mom played favorites, she would still treat me like her daughter. I never imagined she wouldn't even feel a touch of sadness at my death. Heartbroken, I floated to find Caleb, only to discover Caleb had committed suicide in the bathtub, clutching my photograph. It was then I realized Caleb's love for me surpassed his own life. I went mad, using all my strength to trip Chloe as she walked downstairs. Watching Chloe fall to her death at the bottom of the stairs, her neck snapped. Only then did my soul dissipate. I never thought I would return to the day I chose my destiny, except this time, Chloe chose to go to the Donovan household. She thought that as long as she went to the Donovans, Caleb would fall for her. Too bad, she was wrong. Caleb would never fall for her, and I would make them pay for everything they did in the last life. As soon as Mom and Chloe left, Aunt Brenda used the excuse of renovating her room to insist I move into the school dorms early. In the previous life, Mom worked as a housekeeper for the Donovans, so we stayed at Uncle Paul and Aunt Brenda's house. She used to give Aunt Brenda a monthly allowance. Last life, after Mom and I went to the Donovan household, Mom even increased the allowance, asking them to take good care of Chloe. Chloe had a good life at Uncle Paul's house. Now, it seemed Mom had stopped the allowance for Aunt Brenda. I didn't argue. I packed my things and left. Before starting school, I had another place to go. After leaving Aunt Brenda's house, I went to the bank. Every year on my birthday, Dad would deposit a small sum of money for me. Only I knew about that money. I withdrew the money and took a bus, arriving at a secluded cemetery. The wind and rain were heavy that day. I huddled in my raincoat behind a tree, waiting. As dusk approached, 16-year-old Caleb rushed in through the rain. Several bodyguards followed close behind him. Caleb was drenched, his narrow eyes showing a cold intensity, but his steps were firm. He walked to a grave and frantically dug through the surrounding grass with his bare hands. Young Mr. Donovan, it's raining so hard it must have been washed away. Let's come back when the rain stops. Caleb seemed not to hear them. Just as he was exhausted and despairing, I stepped out from behind the tree. Excuse me, are you looking for this? I pulled a necklace from my pocket. Caleb's eyes lit up and he quickly strode over. Seeing him soaked to the bone, I held my umbrella higher, shielding him from the rain. Caleb tremblingly picked up the necklace, his brows relaxing. amazing. How did you get this? In my last life, after Caleb and I got together, he once told me his biggest regret. It was losing the necklace he and his mother had made together that summer when he was 16, so I came to the cemetery to help him find what he lost, and to meet him I shrugged, smiling. The rainwater just washed it down, so I picked it up. Then I saw you searching for so long, and I thought it might be yours. Thank you, this necklace means a lot to me. What reward do you want? Caleb said thanks, but still looked like he was keeping everyone at arm's length. I shivered and stammered. Then, will you treat me to some instant noodles? I'm cold and hungry. Caleb froze for a moment, then burst out laughing. Okay, half an hour later. At my insistence, Caleb and I shared his first ever cup of instant noodles. I never knew instant noodles could taste so good. When we were together before, instant noodles were his favorite. After we finished eating, Caleb asked for my contact information, saying he wanted to thank me properly. I smiled and refused. If it's meant to be, we'll meet again. The moment I turned away, I couldn't stop my eyes from welling up. I wanted so badly to rush over and hug him, to tell him everything from our past life, to tell him I missed him so much it was driving me crazy, but that would definitely make him think I was insane. I didn't leave my contact information because I knew his every move. After high school, we would meet again. Caleb would think it was fate, not a plan. Finally, school started. High school classes were surprisingly easy. I began to plan my second meeting with Caleb during the fall break. I found a part-time job cleaning at an ice hockey rink. On the third morning, Caleb came to practice. I watched him secretly from the back. When he was almost done practicing, I spoke softly. You should twist your wrist when you pass the puck. Caleb turned sharply. I couldn't see his eyes under his helmet, but I could feel his shock. It's you. You can spot my weakness? How could I? He told me himself. I played dumb. Just a little bit. Do we know each other? Caleb took off his helmet, his eyes sparkling with surprised delight. I exaggeratedly widened my mouth. It is you. We had lunch together. You're underage. How are you working here? Shoo. Don't let my boss find out. I'm pretending to be older. Do you really need money that badly? My dad died in a car accident and mom took all the money and left with my sister. What else am I supposed to do? Caleb was silent for a moment. Later, will you help me practice hockey? I hesitated. I still have to sweep. $5,000 an hour. All right, boss. Caleb laughed again, nearly spitting out his food. After practice that afternoon, Caleb asked me out for dinner again. I was about to agree when I saw Chloe watching from outside the rink. Let's reschedule. I have to go now. W.